Hello everyone, welcome back to the weekly video. As usual, we're going to talk about the US market outlook and then followed by the Singapore market. And we're going to discuss about some stocks that may be potentially rebound next week in the US market and the Singapore market. So without further ado, let's take a look at the Dow. So last week when we were looking at the Dow was trading at this level and it managed to edge some gain the following day on the 27th of September. However, selling pressure start to set in and push the Dow back to its key support level. So why did the selling comes in? So first of all, the US 10-year Treasury yield has shot up, and that resulted in sell down in the US market. Then last Friday we had a very good closing as the US market rebounded on optimism. So what helped the US market to rebound? This piece of news helped the US market to rebound nicely, which is the Merck pill, which seen as a huge advance, raises hope of preventing COVID-19 deaths. So if the pill is really useful and then we can get rid of COVID once and for all, and of course the economy can open up faster and therefore help the recovery faster. So that's why the market rebounded strongly. So here we can see that this rebound above its support level is crucial. Why? Because if you look closely here, we have a lower high here comparing to this high. And these are signs of a downtrend. And what we need to see next week is that the Dow rebound back to this level, this minor resistance at 35,666, or rather, I beg your pardon, 35,066 level, where if the Dow can cross this level, then we can see a potential change in trend like previously what he had done. So let's reset everything. So I'm pretty sure you are clear of all the projections that were done previously, and now we're going to look at the chart again. Here we see that the Dow broken down, rebounded strongly, and retest back to its resistance over here. So that led to more upward movement thereafter. So we can see that if here and have that kind of positive effect, we need to be positive here as well, right? So the key level to look out for is 35,066 thereabouts. Okay, and what we are going to look at in the S&P 500 is similar. So we have the S&P 500 rebounded nicely. So both Dow Jones and S&P 500 also form a candlestick reversal pattern called the bullish harami. So the S&P 500 needs to reach 4,400, okay, over here. So I would rather say that it's 4464, right, at this level. So when we hit and cross above this resistance as the same effect as Dow, we may see some more upward movement. Next is the Nasdaq. So we can see that the Nasdaq has closed nicely above its support over here. So this is a key support level for Nasdaq, which is 14,456, and it closed as a hammer. And then what we want to see as well is that this hammer can bring Nasdaq back to 15,354, and that would help the index to change its trend and move back towards its all-time high level at this 15,695. So it is very important to see some rebound next week, especially to test resistance. As such, then we have a chance to see the market move higher. Now, there's something that I also like to share with you on top of the chart. Right, this is regarding S&P 500, and I have consolidated the past 17 years performance within a year for S&P 500. So what do you see in this chart is that this is S&P 500 movement in month of January, February, March, April, May, June, July, etc., until December. So within a year, how S&P performed. Now, if you were to look at this period here and then here, which is between August and September, then October here. So you can see there's a dip here, which is in September. Then we see October recovery, and the market tend to peak in November. So S&P 500 tend to move in such a manner, if we have a dip in September, there may be a chance that we can see recovery in October and November. But most of the time, we can see that there is no negative impact in October, a little bit in November. So hopefully this year we can repeat the same kind of effect. And not to forget, we have entered the month in October, and this kickstarts the next round of reporting. And we have the banks like JP Morgan, etc., going to report its result on the third week of October. So we got to watch out for that as well. That would help the market to move higher. And of course, if the result is not as good as expected, then it may push the market lower. So what we want to see is that this result will be crucial to help us to see whether is there any positive October going forward. So let's take a look at this Singapore index here. So we have the Singapore index over here, which is currently looking at moving in sideways, and it is consolidating. So the resistance is at 3105 thereabout. So of course, we need it to break above this resistance zone, which is beyond 3109. Then crossing above 3126 will give us this sign that it may continue to move higher. The key support level and major support level for STI is from 3028, around 3028 to 3038. So we can see that last Friday we had a gap down, and then it pushed lower towards its key support level. So hopefully we can see some recovery next week together with the US market, a retest of 3109 level, and then we can see a better months ahead. We can see better October ahead. Okay, now let's look at individual stocks. Okay, so we are going to move into the banks first, and let's start off with DBS. So we can see DBS over here. Last week's performance was a nice recovery back to its resistance level, very close to its resistance level at 3046, but a poor closing on Friday. So we can see a pullback, which formed another resistance over here at 3042. So is this the sign where DBS is going to go lower? Well, like I said earlier on the outlook on the indices, if the whole market is going to recover, we have a chance to see rebound. So if we see a rebound on DBS, this may form a higher low, and of course retesting resistance over here, this whole zone, right, is a very important one, and more importantly breaking above it. But it can be a tough resistance to break because there are so many times where you attempt to move higher but it fails. So it tells us that these resistance are pretty strong. So from 3042 to 3055. So next week we're going to focus on this as well. So if DBS, doesn't move up and then move down, of course the support level that we want to look at is 2917, which is the major support level that has been tested 1, 2, 3 times. So next week will be a pretty important week for us as well. UOB, we have this counter moving in sideways, tight range of trading, and the support and resistance is as on the screen. We can see 2531 support, 25685 resistance, major resistance and major support. So it's moving in a sideways for quite some time. In fact, the whole month of September. And similar to OCBC, OCBC has been in a consolidating movement since September started, and we see the support at 1137 tested the third time on Friday. So now we have a minor resistance at 1165. So if we have a rebound, we need it to retest 1165 in order to move higher. So again, pretty crucial week next week. And some interesting stocks just like to share with you. Mapletree Commercial Trust. This counter don't really form hammer patterns. So for my screener, this counter actually form a hammer. So and it is at this major support level. So if we have a confirmation candle for this hammer, the resistance to retest is 216. So hopefully there's a chance for this counter to retest 216. Now I'd just like to do a simple exercise to see whether does hammer really works well on this counter. So I'd like to see how it trade it has traded in the past. So we can see here I spotted one hammer over here, and there isn't any confirmation, and thereafter the counter did not move up but move lower, so no doubt it recover later to move higher, but of course the short-term weakness over here we cannot neglect, is what we don't like. So we can look for other trading signal or other better trading signals going forward if this hammer doesn't have a confirmation. The next pattern that I just want to see, is there any more hammer? So if we do have a hammer and then a confirmation coming forward from Mapletree Commercial, then we can see it really move up. Oh, so then we can see more upward movement over here, and it went up to retest its 210 level. So the moral of the story is very simple. Tomorrow, be patient, don't rush, don't try to get lower price, just wait for the confirmation to come in, and then if the confirmation really comes in tomorrow or the next day, Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, then we may see some rebound. If beyond Tuesday, probably not. So we got to watch further and see what are the market sentiments, what is the market looking at, and then is there any further good news going forward, etc., then to decide whether should we take a trade on Mapletree Commercial. Then we have SD Engineering also have a hammer pattern over here. So again, if a hammer pattern has a confirmation like this, say this hammer, then the next day white candle, there's a chance for it to move up. Okay, so we need that to happen so that we can see more upward movement for SD Engineering, with the resistance to test is 390. And of course, SD Engineering is right now sitting at its major support level at 340, which is one of key support level. You can see this chart shows that there are many candles over here. Okay, so let's watch for confirmation next week. Then we have UMS. So this counter is going to give bonus shares going forward very soon in the month of October this month, and the X date is 22nd of October, and record date is 25th October, where they're going to give you one free share for every 4 share held. And this counter right now is on a symmetrical triangle, so waiting for the next course of action. So if the market sure about this bonus issue, then and create a breakout, then we can see 185. But if the market is lukewarm and then waiting for that bonus issue to come, and then decided to break down before the bonus issue, then we may have some downward action towards 153. So which direction is going to be for UMS, it's very important to see the break up or breakdown going forward. Okay, let's look at Franken. Franken is right now trading at the support level, right at 229, and it has a doji over here which is trying to confirm this support level. So if we have a white candle confirmation and a rebound to follow through going forward, then we have 247 resistance to watch. Okay, and ISDN is very weak. It actually broke its support here at 625, and now it's just above its next support at 61. So in short, the tech has been weak, including AEM as well, which its bullish pattern has been negated. So you see it had been selling down. So in conjunction with the bad US market performance, our tech has been sold down pretty badly. So let's see whether next week we have some recovery. Okay. Next, we are going to move into this chart nexus chart. So I hope that you have tried out the chart nexus chart already. It's a pretty interesting tools for you, and useful tools for you to do your charting and analysis. So let's move on to the chart here. So using this chart, I'm going to share some of the market looking at, and then is there any further good news going forward, etc., then to decide whether should we take a trade on Mapletree Commercial. Then we have ST Engineering also have a hammer pattern over here. So again, if a hammer pattern has a confirmation like this, say this hammer, then the next day white candle, there's a chance for it to move up. Okay, so we need that to happen so that we can see more upward movement for ST Engineering with the resistance to test is 390. And of course, ST Engineering is right now sitting at its major support level at 340, which is one of the key support level. You can see this chart shows that there are many candles over here. Okay, so let's watch for confirmation next week. Then we have UMS. So this counter is going to give bonus shares going forward very soon in the month of October this month, and the X date is 22nd of October and record date is 25th October, where they're going to give you 1 free share for every 4 share held. And this counter right now is on a symmetrical triangle, so waiting for the next course of action. So if the market sure about this bonus issue, then and create a breakout, then we can see 185. But if the market is lukewarm and then waiting for that bonus issue to come and then decided to break down before the bonus issue, then we may have some downward action towards 153. So where and which direction is going to be for UMS, it's very important to see the break up or breakdown going forward. Okay, let's look at Franken. Franken is right now trading at the support level, right at 229, and it has a doji over here which is trying to confirm this support level. So if we have a white candle confirmation and a rebound to follow through going forward, then we have 247 resistance to watch. Okay, and ISDN is very weak. It actually broke its support here at 625, and now it's just above its next support at 61. So in short, the tech has been weak, including AEM as well, which its bullish pattern has been negated. So you see it had been selling down. So in conjunction with the bad US market performance, our tech has been sold down pretty badly. So let's see whether next week we have some recovery. Okay. Next, we are going to move into this chart nexus chart. So I hope that you have tried out the chart nexus chart already. It's a pretty interesting tools for you and useful tools for you to do your charting and analysis. So let's move on to it's going to be for UMS. It's very important to see the break up or breakdown going forward. Okay, let's look at Franken. Franken is right now trading at the support level, right at 229, and it has a doji over here which is trying to confirm this support level. So if we have a white candle confirmation and a rebound to follow through going forward, then we have 247 resistance to watch. Okay, and ISDN is very weak. It actually broke its support here at 625, and now it's just above its next support at 61. So in short, the tech has been weak, including AEM as well, which its bullish pattern has been negated. So you see it had been selling down. So in conjunction with the bad US market performance, our tech has been sold down pretty badly. So let's see whether next week we have some recovery. Okay. Next, we are going to move into this chart nexus chart already. It's a pretty interesting tools for you and useful tools for you to do your charting and analysis. So let's move on to the chart here. So using this chart, I'm going to share some US counter. And before that, I'm going to talk about some useful features in the chart itself. So this week, we are going to cover watch list and zooming in and zooming out of the chart. Okay, so you can see on the screen right now is the full chart. Of course, if you want to do analysis, a full chart is very important. Why? Because the chart is big, you can see clearer. And then you are seeing Apple on the screen. Now I'm going to call the side menu out to expand the panel. So here I have watch list. So I'm pretty sure that you are interested to create a watch list so that you can have a, a view of how this counter that you like performed over the night. So over here in this watch list, I have Nasdaq 100, I have Tesla, and I would like to add on Apple into the watch list. So very simple. If you don't have the chart, you can search here first. Okay. Now, if you have the chart on the screen already, what you just simply need to do is just to click on this button, add to watch list, and you like to add to watch list 1. So once you click on watch list 1, you can see Apple appearing on the watch list. So let's say I would like to have another counter, like I would like to have Amazon. Okay, so I'll call Amazon chart. Then I would like to add it into my watch list. So I'll just click on the plus sign again and then watch list 1. And I would like to have this watch list solely for the US stocks. So I would like to name it as a watch list for US stocks or US stocks only. So I'll just click on this watch list over here. And then I will just click on edit and then change this watch list name to US stocks. Then you can put something like this tag behind it and then just rename. Okay, so this will be your US tech stock name, rather the US tech stock watch list. Now, if you want to make sure that you can see the tag properly, then of course you can see because the word has been shortened. So you can edit the name again, and then now instead of US stocks, I just put US tech will do. So I just rename, and then now I can see clearly it's US tech. Then next I can have another watch list which is empty watch list 2, and then this time round I am going to create something like the US counter that is related to the tourism or these retails. Like for example, some would like to focus on this cruise liner or the airliner, right? So you have the Southwest, for example, Southwest airline. Yeah, Southwest Airlines. So I just click, and then I just need to click on plus, watch list 2, and then I like to have this CL, which is a Royal Caribbean Cruise, because with the pill, which can cure the COVID, preventing COVID-19 deaths, of course the market can open sooner, especially tourism. So then we add this to the watch list so that we can watch how they perform. Then we can have LVS, Las Vegas Sands over here. Then we add into watch list. So it's up to you to create that watch list and add those stocks that is potentially going to benefit from this, right? Reopening into the watch list so that you can watch how the stocks perform, and then which crucial level that you need to take note. Like for example, on the screen that I have right now, okay, I would, as usual, go to the Pro. I want to know the support and resistance for LVS. So I just click, okay, so here you know that I can have a resistance to watch. So I have a resistance over here to watch, which LVS needs to break out. Thereafter, fill up this gap, and then the next resistance to look out for is 45.17. Then I just need to go to Southwest Airline, and then the support resistance is already there. So I can see that Southwest Airline is at this resistance. Then click on Royal Caribbean. Then I can see Royal Caribbean is at resistance as well. Now I want to turn that off, so I just need to click Pro, then SNR off, then you'll just be off. Okay, so I'll just turn it on. Then I'll just want to go back to my US tech. Before that, I just like to rename my watch list 2 to US travel, etc. Up to you to imagine the name. Okay, so now I have US tech, US travel. So I have US tech right